Hello, class. This short lecture is going to address a really important concept in consumer behavior because it affects all of us as consumers. And it's called the diffusion of innovation model. Simply put, all of us are consumers, and we all fit within this bell curve, if you will. All of us are here, all of us are in there depending on what the focus is or what the product that we are interested or service we're interested is. And we go from left to right. The far left-hand corner of the bell curve, we call it the innovators, which is a very small portion of the consumer population. The next section or segment is the early adopters, which is also a small segment, not quite as small as the innovators, but it's a fairly small segment. Then we have the fat part or the big part of the bell curve, which represents about 68% of it. And that would be the early majority and the late majority. Then finally, on the far right-hand side, we have what's called the last section. We call that the laggards. So in any purchase environment, especially regarding a high involvement purchase. And again, high involvement is where there's probably more at stake, there's more risk. The cost of the product is probably higher. And so we're going to be, when we think about product and services and ourselves as consumers, we fit in this bell curve again. So the people on the left-hand side of the bell curve, the innovators and early adopters, are going to be the first to jump in and purchase a product, especially the innovators. The innovators are the ones that will pay the most money. They will take the most risk to be first, to be the first to purchase a product. Then the early adopters watch the innovators as much as they can, and they jump in early as well. And they will be probably the very close second group of consumers to purchase a product. Then there's what we call a chasm. There's a line here between early adopters and early majority. This is where the consumer population has to get involved. The majority has to get involved. Because if they don't, the product or service will probably fail because there aren't enough consumers here in the about 16% of the entire consumer population. There's not enough to support a full product or service launch. It's not there. The key is to cross this chasm and get into the majority of the consumer population. Once a marketer or brand or product or service has done that, then they can achieve mass market acceptance and mass market success. The reason why there's degrees to that because the early majority will be earlier to make a commitment to a product or service or brand. They're watching these guys, then they say, we're waiting a little bit, we're waiting for the price to come down a bit, then we're going to jump in, and maybe some bugs need to be taken out of the product, let's just say. Then they jump in, and then these people, the late majority, are watching everyone else, and they're probably going to wait until the price comes. Products or service has been out a year, the bugs are out of it, the prices are down. They don't care about being early adopters per se, so they jump in. Marketers don't pay a lot of attention to laggards because they're the ones that at the end of the buying cycle, if you will, of a product, they're going to be last and they're going to want to pay the least amount of money. They don't care about innovation very much. They're going to jump in because they have to. a road group. They had the first cell. Let's say they bought the first cell phone after it was out 10 years. They finally bought one. Then when we went to touchscreen and the flip phones went away, these guys reluctantly adapted to the new smartphones, but they were happy just to keep what they had. They didn't care about the innovation. So all of us fit in this bell curve. I'm going to ask you to, in the slide presentation, which is right underneath this lecture, I need you to click on this box, because then you're going to get Simon Sinek's position of his position on the diffusion of innovation model. It's a little bit different than mine, but since it's the same concept, it's pretty similar. So, having said that, thank you, and make sure to pay attention to the assignments this week, and we will go from there.